Greetings, movie fans, and welcome to the latest episode of the Summer Movie Draft 2025. Today, we will be dealing with the movies that opened up on the, what was it, the 16th of May? That is correct, right? The 16th of May. And the two movies that opened were Final Destination, which I am currently joined by Candace, who has that movie in her draft pick, and Hurry Up Tomorrow, which is a draft pick by Mitchell. You just want to say hi to everyone there?
Hey everyone, this this is Mitchell.
Yes, yes. Hello, everyone else.
And that would be Candace. All right. So, did anybody go actually this weekend to see their movie? And I mean, I know the answer to that question, but for the audience, I guess it would be best for Candace. What was your choice to view?
Yes, yes, I sure did. Last week I think it was on air when I told everybody I was going to be seeing my movie at the first show on Saturday morning, which
Mm-hmm.
was actually Saturday afternoon because it was
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
12:40, but
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was doing. And there were a number of other people there with me, including when I first walked in, there was like an older gentleman who was probably in his late 60s with
Okay.
a young girl who was probably under 10.
Oh,
And I was like, okay, grandpa and
yeah.
granddaughter movie
It's
date
an
to go see Final
unusual Final
Destination. Okay.
Destination. Okay. Yeah.
But then I watched another like dad who was probably about my age come in with his like 10 or 11-year-old son and like the it was the widest age variety of people I've ever seen in a movie.
All
And
right.
nobody left. Nobody freaked out. Nobody left.
Yeah, no, no. I also saw myself Final Destination as well. Mitch, did you get out to the movies, or you just actually had just said that you hadn't had a day
Unfortunately,
off? Yeah.
unfortunately I didn't have the timing and I wasn't able to check it out. And I was looking, and Final Destination is only 14A in Ontario. Like it's
Sure
R in the
is.
United States, so it makes sense why the younger crowd were out.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very
Yeah,
good point.
I did actually double check at least 3 times to make sure I was in the right theater. Kept looking at my ticket, going, okay, because on top of that, the person at the front said, "Oh, theater 6," and I was like, "This clearly says it's theater 5."
Hmm.
So, and then I went to theater 5, and there was a sign for Bloodlines, and I just kept looking, and I was like, I think I'm in the right theater, and they probably are too, and they were.
Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, I myself decided to do a, double bill. I caught a I think it was a 2 o'clock showing of Clown in a Cornfield, which was my pick from the previous week. So I gave myself a little bit of a boost on that. Quite an entertaining movie. It's really fun. It's it is a really cool horror film, but it's not a gory horror film. It's brought to you by the producers of Terrifier, but it's definitely not a Terrifier movie. It's definitely it's more of a and a lot of people are saying it's a very entry level horror film, and it definitely is. It's got it scares, it's got a great cast, it does have a lot of blood, but it's more like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre sort of thing, how they always like cut away from the actual violence and you're left up to your imagination to fill in the blanks and whatnot. And I mean, successfully done in this movie, and I really enjoyed it. Very small amount of people, an older crowd actually in the theater where I was. I don't think anyone was under the age of 40 that was in there, but there was only like maybe 7 people at most. And again, it's 2 o'clock on a Saturday, horror film that came out a week before. I mentioned in my little in the car review that the two gentlemen sitting behind me were having just as much fun during this movie as I was. We were all laughing at the right points. We were all like amazed at like the perfect of like effects and all that sort of thing at different points and all that sort of thing. So it was an enjoyable time. And then I went to see the Limax version of Final Destination, Bloodlines. And again, it's one of those where certain sequences fill the whole entire screen, but it like when it's not, it then shrinks down, but it actually visibly shrinks down. It doesn't suddenly jump to a small screen. It actually the screen like
Recedes?
slowly recedes. Yes, exactly, recedes into a more formalized rectangles, which was kind of neat. But yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised at the double bill, how Both movies were both entertaining, but both different types of horror films, and I really enjoyed my whole entire afternoon. And of course, the Final Destination had a lot more people in it. It was like a 4:10 showing of the show. So there was like maybe half the theater was kind of full. I'm sure from the numbers, obviously, the evenings are when movies really sell out and all that sort of thing. But it was still, it was nice to know that when I was laughing along to certain things and all that, there were a couple of other people also joining in on it for Final Destination. But yeah, so that was that. So to get into it, let's get to some numbers. So, Candace, you and me had the fight over this movie during our draft and all that, and you obviously ended up winning as it's on your list. And to give you the for opening weekend, Final Destination Bloodlines pulled in $102 million, making it the top movie of our movie draft picks for the week. So for the weekend. So and then the other movie, which is Hurry Up Tomorrow, the Jenna Ortega and the
The
Weekend
Weekend.
movie made a very small amount of money. But it's still for a showing of a movie that is probably going to be a very small sort of audience as well, because I think that's what Mitch was actually going on. Mitch was planning on the art house crowd to keep this movie alive, which chances are a movie like this will probably stick around for a while in the theaters, just in small little.
I don't know if art house is the right phrase for this one, so based on the reviews, but the dedicated fans.
Yes, that's
Um,
it. Sorry, I apologize. I believe that is what you actually said. The dedicated fans would probably be the ones that will be
and
pushing. Yes,
it,
yeah.
it was a ratio thing of cost versus box office likelihood. So it was just, I got for 5 points.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
I
As
if
opposed to how much did Candace pay for? Should you pay 20 for?
I think so. 2022, something like
Yeah,
that.
20 or 22 is probably what you ended up
Yeah.
paying for that. All right, so sorry, Mitch's final total for that movie turns out to be $3,300,000. So
Hmm,
obviously, it's
that's not
obviously
bad.
not going to be on the amount of screens that a Final Destination is, or even still a Thunderbolts. We do have a running total of what we are doing for all the movies that are listed in our list of stuff. Go
Go
ahead.
back and say, I live online, so I was a little bit disappointed on Friday that nobody I saw online who always shares the Daniel Craig introducing the weekend at Saturday Night Live. Every Friday, it's ladies and gentlemen, this is the weekend. I'm like, why have we not turned this into a joke? His big movie
Ah,
with the
yes, I see what
opening.
you're
Come
saying.
on.
Yes, yes, this is the weekend. Yeah,
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 I didn't
yeah.
see a single person make that joke, and that's just the death knell for the movie, I think. If it's not memeable online, of the meme that I literally see every single week for years. Not a single Friday goes by that I don't see people sharing. Ladies and gentlemen, the
The
weekend.
weekend. All right. So, out of the movies that are eligible for our draft, we currently have of the top earners for the whole entire year. The number one movie so far is Thunderbolts, which is in fourth place. Final Destination comes in at number 10. We then have Clown in a Cornfield at number 80. Shadow Force is 115th. Fight or Flight is 116th.
Ooh,
And
still on there.
yep. And at 129th is Hurry Up Tomorrow. And falling out of the top 200 is The Surfer. Yep, these movies are still making money. That's the only reason why I'm still including them on this list.
I'm
So yeah,
surprised by Fight or Flight and Shadow Force
are
doing
still,
so well
yep.
because like during the draft we kind of underplayed them a bit or
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
yeah.
I think it's a lot of yeah, like
What else
cross.
do we see?
Yeah,
Kind
exactly.
of.
Like I already saw Thunderbolts. What do I see now?
Exactly. And I think that's the main reason why the main reason why they moved Shadow Force back a week, because they
Hmm.
knew, okay, the Surfer has only made $1.79 million
In
totally.
total?
In total, yes.
Yikes. I'm sure it costs
Um,
more than that to make.
hence the reason why, yeah, no, totally. Hence the reason why it's well under the 200 mark. But Shadow Force has made $3.7 million dollars, and Fight or Flight has made 3.7 million as well. So 3.75 for Shadow Force, 3.73 for Fight or Flight. So yeah. In 2 weeks of release, Corn in the Clown Field. I'm gonna always say that. I have no idea why, but Clown in a Cornfield has made $6.2 million dollars. Um, but the other interesting movies that we've discussed prior are the other ones that are missing from the top five. Now, it's interesting to note that Thunderbolts has moved up to fourth place, moving Sinners, which has been out since about 2 weeks prior to it, has moved down to fifth place, but it's made $314.6 million dollars. The third place movie is Captain America: Brave New World, which is actually still in theaters pulling in money, which is interesting to see. At third place with $415.1 million dollars. A Minecraft movie whose numbers are slipping within the weekend, but they're still a huge number to begin with. In second place at $921.9 million dollars.
And
And
has Neja 2 crossed the $2 billion mark yet?
Neja 2 is just near the edge, and Neja 2 is an animated feature that was released the beginning of middle of January, if I believe that's when it was. It's at $1.898 billion dollars. So this movie is,
Insane.
and again, it has increased from the previous week. So it's looking like it. I mean, to get over a billion is kind of hard when you're at $1.8 billion dollars. Getting over to 1.9 is a big amount of money, but still, I
Yeah.
don't think from what I've seen and the fact that it's still making money since January, there's no doubt that this movie is going to eventually probably be the only $2 billion movie that we're going to be experiencing this year. And from, I believe, Candace, you have also recently seen the first version of this movie.
Yep. Yeah. So
Oh,
last week after we talked about it,
yeah,
I went and I immediately sat down and watched the first one
yeah.
because I got to
Oh,
be prepared.
all right. So that being said, that's going to bring us to our totals at this point. Now, as we are speaking right now, there's only three of us that are on this board. There's still another three people who are yet to have movies come out. So Mitch is in third place right now with the grand total of his weekend, the weekend movie, $3,300,000.
I'm just the guy chugging champagne at the bottom of the podium with the camera zoomed in, and we're not going to
Exactly.
zoom out. We're going to stay on me, and we're going to end the podcast here. Thank you all for listening.
And Mitch is gone. All right, so Candace is in second place with her grand total of both the Final Destination and Fight or Flight combined together gives her 105,733,504
Which
dollars,
sounds like a lot
which sounds
until
like a
we get
lot.
to Troy's number.
Yeah. And now the only thing with my number is just because I have Thunderbolts as one of my as one of my picks because my others, the Surfer and Shadow Force and Clown and Cornfield. Well, Clown and Cornfield will be doing okay, but it's not going to give me any huge numbers. I'm basically banking on Thunderbolts until my July release movie, which hopefully will be another big one for me. But my grand total is $337,882,015 to this date. So again, this is like the third week into our game, fourth episode, and all that sort of thing. So these numbers pretty much don't mean anything. We've got a few coming up, and as a matter of fact, our next week, our contestants entering into the game are going to be Natasha and Ahmed, who between the two of them have both Lilo and Stitch for Natasha and Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning for Ahmed.
I think
So,
all of our numbers are going to go way down
oh, I'm pretty
suddenly.
sure.
It's
I'm
just
pretty
like
sure.
flat
Yeah,
line.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling that Final Destination will still make money. I'm pretty sure that Thunderbolts will still make money. We're probably going to drop completely off from what they're making now. Um,
I also did see that Ballerina is having advanced screenings this upcoming week.
Oh,
So it's
is it?
on,
Oh,
yeah, it's, maybe 6 screenings a day at most, but this is the advanced screening
yep,
time
yep, exactly.
because
Yeah.
its official release was like the first weekend of June, I believe.
Hmm.
So maybe they're doing a week early testing of or 2 weeks early testing the waters.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'll have to keep an eye
Mhm.
out for that sort of thing. That'd be interesting to see that in advance. Yeah. All right.
Not that I'm
So,
trying to plug my future movies or anything.
I wonder who's going to be the first person to break $1 billion with their box office.
Bad
uh,
Guys too.
well, if
What's
we
next
all
week?
go see
Mission
it,
Impossible
yeah,
and
Mission Impossible and
Yeah.
Lilo and Stitch. Those
Mhm.
see that's the thing too, because it's not like Mission Impossible is beyond anyone's scope, but you're definitely going to have families and kids going to see Lilo and Stitch on opening weekend for sure. But you're probably going to have an equal amount of people going to see Mission Impossible. So these two movies might end up canceling each other out. Like they're going to make money, don't no doubt about it, but they're probably not going to make like a Thunderbolts opening weekend or
Oh,
a
right. And it's American, it's Memorial Day
it's the
weekend,
Memorial
isn't
Day
it?
long weekend, right? So they
Hmm.
technically have the extra day and all that sort of thing, but I think we're only going to do up until the Friday, Saturday, Sunday because it's not like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's not a no. Their weekend isn't the Friday; it's the Monday, right?
The weekend is yeah,
Yeah,
their day off is on
their day off
Monday.
is the Monday. Yeah, so we'll still just count the first the first 3 days of the weekend. So they'll get an extra bump to the next week because of the extra. But again, everything is going to get a bump anyways because of the extra day. But yeah, so it'll be an interesting thing to see. Two big guys going up against each other. So we're just going to see how well these two studios stack up against each other. And again, like I said, they could make box office records if there was only one of them opening. But I think they're gonna almost kind of level each other out. I mean, it
People
also
go with A or B, and then yeah,
yeah,
like they're
exactly.
going with both of them, and it'll pretty much just split a lot of the audiences due to the overlap.
Exactly, exactly. The only thing that really counts is which of these guys has legs to get a
How long
future
will they
number.
stay in
Yeah, how
there?
long will
Yeah.
they stay in there? So
Yeah.
that'll be
I'm pretty
the
sure it's Lilo and Stitch.
I
I
can
think so
totally see.
too.
Yeah, I can totally see Lilo and
That thing's
Stitch.
playing until September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, more than likely. More than likely. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that being said, we're just going to wrap up this particular episode and all that. And I want to thank you, Candace. I want to thank you, Mitch, for joining me. I want to thank the audience for coming along on this journey and all that sort of thing. So again, be sure to tune back next week to check out what Natasha and Ahmed have to say about their box office wins and all that, whether they went to go see a movie or not that weekend. Interesting seeing there are a couple, depends on which movie they're going to go see. I think more than likely they'll end up seeing Lilo and Stitch because of Natasha being so excited that she actually got that movie. But all right, so that being said, thank you, Candace. Thank you, Mitch. Until next time, see you at the box office. You've just been listening to the Summer Movie Draft 2025, a Planet Geek production. Be sure to download, subscribe, share, comment, and review. It most definitely helps us out. If you would like to buy us a coffee, be sure to go to ko-fi.com/planetgeekpod. Any and all donations will go to future improvements of Planet Geek Productions. You can follow Planet Geek Productions on our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, or Letterboxd. Search for Planet Geek Productions. On X, former Twitter, Instagram, or Blue Sky, search for Planet Geek Pod. Or reach out to us via email at planetgeekpod@gmail.com. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and see you at the box office.